What's going on, everybody? This is NBK Vamp coming at you with another episode of Trucker Journals, I believe I decided on calling it. So in today's video, we are going to be using the same Peterbilt, which for pretty much the first entire season of this series, I'll be sticking with this basic Peterbilt, just building up my money, my cash flow. I have not done anything since the last episode, so I do have 1% damage on this, which I'm not even 100% sure how that happened, but, so yeah. So today I have set a marker, or a GPS, to a delivery for a Digger 1000, which is 34,000 pounds, and we got to take that from Norfolk, Virginia, which is where we're at, to, excuse me if I butcher this, Fayetteville, North Carolina. So we are going to start up the rig and go ahead, and parking brake is on, which is interesting. And we're going to go ahead and pull her into position here and pull out of this parking lot and go ahead and pick up our rig. Now, as you saw in the title, today's topic will be discussing console exclusivity rights, or just console exclusivity games, I should say, and what I think about it, and do I like it, do I not like it, or do I not like the idea of console exclusivity rights. So as always, we'll start the topic once we hit the highway. So after we pick up the Digger, go ahead and do that. Excuse me if you do hear the fan on my laptop. It is running rather high today because I just did get done doing a antivirus scan. Excuse me. So I do apologize for that. So the RAM's pretty high right now, or the CPU is pretty high, and that's just kind of tugging along. Great, so this guy's turning here too. So this is where we have to pull in to pick up the Digger. And I don't see it. It's over here. Okay, there it is. Last episode, we didn't start off great. Let's see if I've got the hook breakdown pack. Ooh. And I think we're actually pretty good. Yes, we are. Cool. Okay. So let's just head out. It's just a digger. Plain old yeah. It's actually a mat. I think that says mutt. I think it's based off of a cat. I don't know. I don't know anything about diggers. Watching the curb there. And we're good. Wow, this thing's really going. It's pretty much just a straight shot once we get on the highway. So it shouldn't be too long of an episode. Okay. Oh, I made that yellow light. I definitely should not have done that, but it's whatever. Now, legally, you're supposed to stop and not in the middle of the, intersection there. Or the entrance ramp, I should say. Okay. I apologize for this fan here. Is he actually gonna let me go? Cool. Appreciate it. Okay, so as I said, today's topic is I should have gone down to Wilmington and over. I actually can. That's okay. Is about exclusivity games and such. So, for example, you got the PlayStation with their exclusive titles like Spider-Man and God of War, and I think that's pretty much it that I can think of. I would say Spyro and Crash Bandicoot, but they don't exactly have that right anymore. That's like all consoles now. And with Xbox, you have Halo, State of Decay, Crackdown, and a few others I can't think of right at the moment, but for now I'm just going to use more this Spider-Man game and then Halo. Oh, Gears of War as well. But Spider-Man and Halo as two prime examples. So yeah. So my stance on console exclusivity is, personally, I don't like it. You know, if you want a game that's on PlayStation, you're forced to buy a PlayStation, or vice versa with Xbox. Personally, I like Xbox. I haven't really liked PlayStation consoles since PlayStation 2. So that was like, what, 2006-ish? I grew up around an Xbox 360, and I currently own two Xbox Ones. One which is downstairs, the other which I play on and stream on and everything else. I would also love to invest in an Xbox One X, but personally, I don't really care for, you know. But I don't like the idea that, like I said, you have to go and buy a console if you want to play just one specific game. Like, for example, Spider-Man. I'm a huge Marvel fanboy, and Spider-Man is actually my favorite superhero. So I'm forced to go out and buy a PlayStation 4 just to play a Spider-Man game. All these years, we've been getting crap Spider-Man games on both consoles, and I believe some have been on PC. The last good Spider-Man game that I can think of that was open world anyways was, let me think for a second, Ultimate Spider-Man, and that was on, again, the PlayStation 2. PlayStation 2, PC, and I don't think it was on Xbox. I'm not sure. But I know it was definitely on PC and PlayStation 2, and PC port was awful. But, so, last few years we got The Amazing Spider-Man 1, which was a subpar Spider-Man game. It was alright, but I personally I wasn't too fond of it. The story was, what's the best way to explain this? The story seemed like it was stolen to me. Like, I've seen it from somewhere else, even though I've confirmed, I did my research on it after playing and beating the game, and it was an original story, but it just didn't seem very creative to me. I guess that's the best way to put it. You know, you got the bad guy who seems like a good guy but ends up being a bad guy, and you got cross-species, or whatever it is, cross-species creatures like the Scorpion, which that's not even what the Scorpion is. And he had the Rhino in there, that's not even what the Rhino is, even in the Amazing Spider-Man universe, and I hate the Rhino in Amazing Spider-Man 2. And yeah, that game was subpar. And then you got The Amazing Spider-Man 2, which I think we all know was bad. So now here comes the Amazing Spider-Man, the new one, not the Amazing Spider-Man, Spider-Man PS4, which they call it, because they don't even have it. It's just called Marvel Spider-Man. And that's only on PlayStation 4. That's pissed a lot, and excuse my French, but you won't hear me cuss a lot in this series, but for this moment, I have to say that. It really did. It made a lot of my friends that love Spider-Man, as well as me, angry. You know, maybe it's just me. But I don't know. And same goes with PlayStation. Now, personally, I don't know many people that own a PlayStation 4. So I can't exactly back this statement up, but I have heard some in Facebook groups and such complain when we go and complain about the Spider-Man game. They're like, well, what about Gears of War? Gears of War to me is a subpar series. Again, I've never the gameplay seems. What is this guy doing? Oh. Caught me off guard. The gameplay seems like, you know, it's just a normal competitive shooter. Play Call of Duty or play Battlefield or play something, you know? I don't like Gears of War, so you're not really missing anything. Halo, on the other hand, okay, I've always loved Halo, so I can understand if you want to complain about that. And as I said, I don't like the idea of console exclusivity games. Now, I understand the idea that you need to be competitive, like, one console needs to be, needs to have, specific game for the other console. But the way it should be done, and we have sort of seen something like this recently, is a game should only be exclusive for maybe a year, maybe 2 at most. And right at launch, they should state this, that the other platform will get that, or the other console will get that game a couple years down the line. The reason I say this is because it's unfair to make, you know, mid-wage people that don't make a lot of money go ahead and go out and buy a $300 console just for 1 or 2 games, when they know deep in their heart they're not going to be playing it very often. I have a friend who has done this because they want to play Spider-Man PS4. It's sad. I guess it's the state of things. I know. I was born in the late 90s, so I don't know everything of how it used to be, but I know that it wasn't like this. You know, consoles were not that expensive. Especially 5 years down the line. Another roadwork thing. Are you kidding me? Anyways, especially not that far down the line where, okay, this guy's creeping up on me. Apologize, everyone. Jeez. I see nothing wrong with that truck. Let me know in the comments below if you saw something wrong with it. Like, reverse the video and see if you see something wrong with that truck. Anyways, I know it was definitely not this bad where they would be releasing games every year or every other year that were exclusive. Like, I'm trying to think, what was the systems? Nintendo 64 and PlayStation. PlayStation, I know, had Crash Bandicoot. That is the only... Yeah, that is the only game I can think of that was exclusive. But again, I didn't grow up with those consoles, so... I had a PlayStation, and I played a lot of Crash Bandicoot, but I was too young to remember anything about it. You know? But... specifically with Spider-Man, that's a Marvel product. Just because Sony owns Spider-Man doesn't give them a right to go ahead and they finally find a developer that makes a really good Spider-Man game. They don't have the right to go ahead and be like, okay, yeah, now that y'all have had your fun all these years with bad Spider-Man games, you're not allowed to get this one. Let me know if any of y'all in the comments below think that's right, because I don't personally. Excuse me as I adjust my earbud. I really don't. PC, the reason I'm not saying anything with PC is because PC gets pretty much the same exclusive games as Xbox because it's owned by Microsoft. Yeah. I can't think of any game that on PC that's actually properly exclusive. Like, they have their indie games on Steam here, and they have games like this, I guess, but I'm talking about AAA, action adventure games. I can't think of any. I would like to see this game on the console, but realistically, it's not going to happen. There's too many controls. Like, even with me using an Xbox One controller right now, I don't have access to all the buttons that I need. Like the four-way blinkers, that's still wired to F, and the handbrake, that's wired to spacebar, or parking brake, I guess. But so I understand the games like these. I don't really blame them for not putting them on console because it'd be almost impossible to do. Like, there have been simulator games on PC that are on consoles now, like City Skylines and I believe Train Sim World. Yeah, because I own that on Xbox. But they've worked it so that you don't need to use all those buttons. Those are basic games. Driving, on the other hand, you need one button for left, one button, right, and then left. You need your brake, you need your accelerate, you need your throttle, all that. And I realize throttle and accelerate are pretty much the same thing, but you need your four-way blinkers. And again, I don't use all of that because I can't. I apologize if these videos don't seem structured. That's because they're not. I just kind of think of a topic, and this is why I've asked you guys to come up with topics for me, and I will discuss them. It's hard for me to think of a topic and then make a 15-20 minute ramble video about it, without going over the same points or going off of something else. Now, in the future, I will be making videos in this series talking about games. I'm debating on whether or not to get the PlayStation just for that Spider-Man game, just like my friend did. For now, I haven't really, It's a lot of money to put down just for one game. Well, two, because I'd probably get God of War at some point, too. It seems pretty, But again, it goes back to the point that I don't want to be putting that kind of money down when it could easily be solved by a couple years down the line. Just put it on Xbox. But with God of War, I know they ain't doing that. And with Spider-Man, because it's Sony, they're not going to do it. As much as us Xbox fans have begged, they're not doing it. And this is why I think, and this is a topic for another day, but I'm just going to add this in there. This is why I think Marvel should permanently buy the Sony, the Spider-Man franchise. They have the money to do it. They've done it for Fox. They can do it with Sony. Just get all the Spider-Man characters back. Even if you have to make certain R-rated films, like Venom and Deadpool, well, Deadpool's Fox, but you know what I mean. One time I pulled out off a off ramp, and a guy just comes ramming right through to me. Actually, that might have happened in the last episode. I don't remember offhand. I'll be honest with you guys. It's 2:30 in the morning. This is like the last thing I'm doing before going to bed. But it's not going to be uploaded until a later date, anyways. So yeah, like I said, just let me know what you guys think about console exclusivity. You know my ideas on it now. See, I want to see what you guys think. That's the whole point of this series. See opinions. You know, everyone has them, and everyone should respect each other for them. Yeah. Again, I apologize for the fan. It's just because the computer's been on all day. I mean, right here, it's hot. So after I'm done recording this, it's going off anyways. This is why I want to get a desktop. Laptops are only meant for temporary use. I think I hit the curb there. Oh well. And as always, like I said in the last episode, let me know what you guys think of my driving. Does it need improving? I know it does at certain points, but I mean overall. I'd love to hear feedback on it. See how the AI is programmed for some reason. This is a four-way stop. I'm supposed to stop, and then they're supposed to go, and then the next car stops, and then I go. It doesn't work that way. I really wish SCS would program this game so that there's trucks that come out of these. Really? I had the right of way there, and that kind of would have trucks that come out of these depots and such doing their deliveries. The only way to see that really would be to go play multiplayer. That red car behind me was totally riding my ass. Well, as always, I will not be parking this the proper way. This is the only thing. I don't care what anyone says. I'm not gonna bother. Okay. It's like we can loop around. Yep. 13,000. 2% damage, so I went up a damage. Apparently, I don't know how that's possible. Did I hit anything? Like, I am using the mirror. That mirror over there. I'm going to take us to the gas station because I do need to refuel and gas anyways. And then let us go to sleep and wrap up the video. So, once again, let me know what you guys think of this topic of the day. I want to hear your thoughts on everything. Again, I do apologize for the fan. I hope this recording comes out alright with no issues on my voice. I'm not even going to bother stopping here. Nothing ever comes out of these depots. Turn here to get the extra road. Look at this guy. You see a truck turning, so you're gonna keep going straight. I know he turned and all that, but really, he got really close. They could have totally fit another delivery place here. Shit, this gas station doesn't have a parking lot. We're gonna have to use a motel, which is always fun. The money goes up and back down. Just like real life. Back down to 30,000. No worries, I know where to go. So, as we're wrapping up this video and heading over to the motel, I want to thank you all for tuning in. I definitely have not updated the description yet. That should come by episode 3. But you can look up my Twitter. The Twitter handle is the same as my YouTube, or at the real NBK Vamp, and I did not use indicators. I'm going to switch those on. Twitch is NBK_Vamp. Actually, that's the same as Twitter. NBK_Vamp. Because they do not allow space bars. So I would appreciate if you guys were to drop a follow and tune in on my broadcasts. I do them as often as possible, pretty much every day of the week. Actually, I'm gonna pull one out over there. Would make a lot more sense, wouldn't it? Don't hit the curb. So, I appreciate you tuning in again. Subscribe, rate, and comment, and I will see you guys next time. NBK Vamp signing off. Peace.